It is now 6:13. Matt Wentz is here. You must have all the gremlin problems.
Yeah,
all
what
that stuff.
happened?
I'm not sure. Someone unplugged something and it just went haywire, and I'm not sure if it got plugged back in or not. So,
Okay, so let's go. It should be a
we'll
wild
see.
ride.
Yeah, as long as the clicker works, I might need you guys to act out the weather. But I think this will
Russ,
be.
you're up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Well, we'll see. We'll see if the clicker works. But guys, you know, we've had the last 4 weeks. We've had these bouts of spring, right, where we get this day. It feels like spring. We all have spring fever, and then it goes away. We're done with that pattern. That pattern, you know, 4 or 5 weeks in a row is finally kind of changing. And one thing that's going to help us to warm up eventually are these longer days. The days don't get much longer, but our sunrise, sunset times change by next Monday. So today our sunrise was 6:53. Sunset 6:22, so it hasn't even happened yet. And then look, by next Monday, we're talking a later sunrise, sure, but that sunset sitting at 7:30 with that time change this weekend as daylight saving time begins on Sunday. So we've got a little bit of time to go here, but temperatures today certainly split. Feels like spring down to the south. We made it up into the upper 60s down towards Dover, New Philadelphia. Minerva got into the upper 60s, Carrollton as well. But notice the split. We're in the 50s and 40s in the Akron-Canton corridor, and then you get up towards the north, we're in the 30s. This cold air is sinking south slowly, so all of us will cool down into the 30s tonight. That split across Ohio is even more vast with widespread 70s down towards the south. There's a frontal boundary. You probably could have drawn it on the weather map. It's sitting right across, it's probably sagged down to the 76 corridor now. It was right across southern Cuyahoga County earlier. And ahead and north of that front, as you typically get this time of year, is lots of overrunning moisture. It's been coming down good. You've had a steady rain over the last 5 or 6 hours out towards Ashtabula County. Some of these red colors looks like heavier rain. It's not. It's actually big old wet snowflakes mixing in. We can pull up a product called correlation coefficient. And whenever you see kind of these brighter shades that you see in there, that's indicating we've got some wet snow falling in there, and all of that again sagging down towards the south. Live look out towards Ashtabula County now. It is wet, just soaking wet puddles out there out towards the Route 11 area, and that trend has been consistent across all northeast Ohio with a very wet February heading into March. So as we go throughout the evening, here's our frontal boundary finally getting a push down to the south. This will fill in with rain. So all of us see rain later on this evening. I know it's been dry down to the south, but that will change as this frontal boundary heads down towards the south and the east. It's getting some help kind of pushed down to the south because of this system here. Last week I was showing you at 11 o'clock, I think it was a week ago, how this system that was off the east coast would go way up into Greenland, which it did, and now it's coming back at us in the U.S. So this is kind of squashing the system down to the south. This is also going to play with the high pressure of the Canadian variety out towards the north. All of this is going to trigger this northeast flow, which is kind of rare, but the setup kind of is conducive to that, where we're going to have persistent cold air coming out of Canada, not from the northwest, but from the northeast, and that will keep us cool as we go throughout the entirety of this week. So right now you're likely feeling the warmest temperatures that you're going to feel really over the next 7 to 10 days. So we'll have some rain around early tonight. We'll get a break, and then we're talking some snowflakes just before that morning rush hour tomorrow. Not a lot of snow, but we will have some snow around. National Newsymart hour-by-hour forecast showing the rain as that moves through and clears out pretty quickly. By 11 o'clock, we should be just cold and rain and snow free. And then we get back towards 4 or 5 a.m. and we get some snow showers in here with the back half of this system. Maybe a little of accumulating snow, a little slush, but it'll melt off quickly as it does in March as we bring out wall-to-wall sunshine tomorrow afternoon. High temperatures, though, in the 30s. So it is going to be chilly tomorrow, but it'll be nice to see that nice, strong March sun go to work. All right, let's switch to long-term thinking here. Snowfall so far this season, 53 inches is what we average. We've had 18 in Cleveland. We know we're way below average in Akron. Ditto that down towards the Mansfield area. Are we going to get any in March? We average about 11 inches this March. And that is a midpoint. You got to remember that. We've had Marches where we've had 20-plus inches of snow. Last 3 have been pretty snowless around here. So as we go through time, remember we've got that strong northeast flow. We're now up to Thursday, still a northeast wind, still cold air in. Big old system's going to come into the eastern or western U.S. It'll head out in the plain states with lots of moisture with it. And as this traverses east, this isn't going to be a big system for us, but the track of this is important because it could bring us a strip of accumulating snow around here. Some of the models bring this low a little bit further north, which would start as rain. That's what we're going with here at 3 News. As we're going to start with rain Friday, we'll change over to some wet snow Friday night into Saturday morning. When we go beyond that, we'll have multiple systems coming out of the west beyond that bring perhaps some snow to northeast Ohio, and that means we get these periodic hits of some snow around here going all the way through next week. Does it add up? Well, it certainly could. Here's the Euro model in terms of snowfall over the next week. And you can see we've got maybe 6 to 10 inches expected on the models through then. The GFS saying something very similar with lots of heavy snow across the northern tier of the country, including the Northeast, which hasn't seen a lot this winter. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. Temperatures stay in the 30s and 40s all the way through Friday. Saturday, we bring some snowflakes in here. Not a whole lot, but that'll be behind that system. And then on into next week, we have another system that comes in Tuesday, Wednesday, with more cool air in place. Overall, a very wintry pattern that you'd expect in more the month of February rather than March.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I should
Yeah,
just
no,
say
it's
I'm
okay.
sorry in advance.
Yeah,
Did everything work? It was all good?
Everything seemed to work.
The
Yeah.
forecast went
Exactly.
well.
The forecast didn't work, but yeah, we need more 60s and 70s.
Yeah,
We'll see.
we do. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
No problem.